Hi, Poema. I have your quiz here, so let's go over the questions that you missed. So question 1 says, which is the graph of the linear function that's represented by the equation y equals 1/2 x minus 2? So remember, this is slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So that means that the slope is 1/2. So we're looking for a positive 1/2 slope, and the y-intercept is -2. That means it's going to cross the y-axis at -2. So I'm going to have to scroll down here because this crosses at +2, so it's not this one. This crosses, it looks like just above 1, so that's not it. And then if we scroll here, these two both cross at -2, so you did have the right y-intercept, but this graph goes up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, 2 over 1. That's a slope of 2. And this one goes up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. Remember, the top number from that fraction from slope is how high up and down the line goes, and the bottom number in the fraction for slope is how far you go left and right. So that's why this one is correct. That has a slope of 1/2. Question 3, the slope of a line is 2. The y-intercept is -6. Which statements accurately describe how to graph the function? So if I'm going to put it in slope-intercept form, it would look like that. So we want to locate the ordered pair 0, -6. That is correct. That is the y-intercept. From that point on the graph, up to left 1 is what you chose, or up to right 1. So if we have a point and I go up 2 and left 1, up to left 1, that line is going to have negative slope. This is a positive slope though. Remember, negative slope lines go this direction. Positive slope lines go this direction. So I need to make sure that I'm going up 2 and right 1, up 2 and right 1, like that. So that's why this one was correct compared to the one you chose. Samantha's parents give her $10 per week. For each chore that she does not complete, she must repay her parents $1. Which graph models Samantha's allowance? So $10 a week, and she's giving, she's giving parents money back. So that means she's losing money. So that would have a negative slope. So it's not the second graph, that has positive slope. This has positive slope. This one has negative slope. So we're starting with $10 and we're losing $1 per chore, or 1x, 1c if you wanted to use c for chores. Maybe I'll switch that to c. Whoops. 1c. So for every chore you don't complete, you lose $1. So for one chore not completed, you'd be at $9. 2 chores not completed, you are at $8. 3 chores, 7, 4, 6, and so on, all the way down to if you did not complete 10 chores, you would have no money. So that's the correct one. You had to maybe look here at the labels on the graph. So we're talking about the more chores you complete, the more chores you don't complete, the less money you have. So we're losing money. That's why that slope is negative. Kelsey graphed y equals 3x plus 1. She flipped the slope and the y-intercept. I can tell by looking at it. Okay, so the positive 1 is the y-intercept. We should have started here. And the slope is 3 over 1. So we go up 3 over 1 in that direction. I run out of room, so I can go down 3 and left if I want to continue the graph this way. That's what it should look like. Kelsey graphed the y-intercept on the x-axis. No. The y-intercept is 1, and there's no 1 on the x-axis. Kelsey graphed -3 instead of 3 as the y-intercept. No, there's -3 on the y-axis. She didn't graph anything there. She graphed -3 on the x-axis, but you're going to see in a minute why that happened. Kelsey graphed the slope as up 1, right 1, instead of up 1, left 1. Nope, the slope is not 1, so that's not what we should have done here. Kelsey graphed the slope as the y-intercept and the y-intercept as the slope. Yep, she's got 3 on the y-axis, so there's your 3, and then she went up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So she used that as the slope, and this is the y-intercept. She got them backwards. Question 8 says, Adriana writes, let me move this out of the way. Adriana writes the equation y equals 2x plus 4 to represent a line on a graph. Henry writes an equation that has a y-intercept that is 1 unit lower on the graph, but has the same slope. So his equation is y equals 2x plus, we want to go 1 unit lower than 4, so we want to go to 3. And I'm not sure why you picked this one, but you picked one that had a slope that was 1 more. But it says the slope is the same. What is the slope and the y-intercept of the line that is plotted on the grid below? Okay, the y-intercept is 4. We name that 0, 4. And you picked one that says 0, -2. Remember, we don't care about the x-axis when we're graphing lines. We only care about the y-axis. Don't ever look at the x to see what it goes through because it's not part of the equation. There are times where we talk about x-intercepts in algebra, but when we're talking about the y-intercept, you're supposed to be looking at the y-axis. That's it. And then if we want to focus on the slope, it looks like you also have the slope backwards. Again, it's rise over run. So how far do you go up and down over how far do you go left and right? It's the y's over the x's. I don't know. There's so many different ways people talk about it, but if I'm here, let's see, where's another point? There's a point, there's a point, there's a point, there's a point. And we draw these little slope triangles, we call them. They look like stair steps. And just write, how many numbers did you go up here? Well, we went up 2. How far do you go over? We go over 1. So the slope is 2 over 1. It's always the up and down number on top, though, so I think you're getting that backwards. I'm going to, wait, I think, actually, I don't know. Do you have another attempt on this or not? Yeah, you do have another attempt, so why don't you go ahead and take it, and then let me know if you need any other help past this. Good luck.